fusefabric is Shopify's largest partner in Europe for enterprise clients. What does that mean? It means that we focus on the largest opportunities that come towards Shopify, so the largest merchants globally. We are a fully remote organization, mainly based in the UK, but with a lot of the team as well across Europe. So we get to work with the most fantastic talent, not just in the UK, but across Europe, which is really important for us. Our headcount's coming up to around 100. And we are ISO accredited 27001 standard, so we know how to work in enterprise level. We're also a Shopify Platinum partner, which means that we are one of the top partners globally, as we're in the top tier from a sort of a capability and classification perspective from Shopify. And we're lucky enough to work on the best and the largest opportunities that Shopify has to offer. We work on some of the largest brands that come towards Shopify. So we've implemented Verboden, which is the largest implementation in EMEA. We've helped design West Wing, which is the largest implementation in Europe. We have clients like Pentland Brands, which is a multi-billion-dollar brand. And for the likes of ASOS as well, the largest fashion retailer globally, or one of the largest online fashion retailers globally.
We fell in love with Shopify. We thought, wow, amazing platform. It's going to change the market. And our mind straight away went to implementation. How do you get this in? How do you do this at scale? And we looked at the ecosystem, looked at the partners, and there was no one out there serving enterprise grade clients. And that was the beginning of the idea of setting up fusefabric, bringing our enterprise experience to bear with a fantastic, innovative product like Shopify.
As technologists and CTOs, it's really hard to get excited about new technologies nowadays because there's so much always coming to the market. So for us to actually step back and think there's something in this as a platform, I think that got our attention. And I think that's when you and I turned to each other and went, do you know what? There's something in Shopify. We can do this, better or really well. And there's nobody really serving that top end enterprise space. We should probably think about if we can start a business that focuses on it. And I think for me, at least, that's the journey of how we started fusefabric.
You and I have never really worked on the agency side in our careers. We've always been on the client side, working for large enterprises and implementing their tech strategy. So moving over to the agency side, we're both new to it. We've never done it before, and coming into it new, we did it the best way we thought we could do it, and which is actually quite anti-agency. We don't follow the agency pattern. We came at setting fusefabric up as how can we partner with CIOs, CTOs? How can we advance their roadmaps, and how can we help them along their transformation journey? And I think the typical agency is focused on a smaller remit, and they're thinking about delivering that one bit of scope and coming in and going out. But we were looking about long-term partnering, and I think that's why I think we're different. I think that's why we've grown so much. I think that's what the market and the ecosystem is looking for.
I think it was the anti-pattern. We were looking for the anti-pattern, both externally and internally for me. So I think we'd always sort of looked back in our careers and thought, and talked about the frustrations, of bureaucracy within a business and the things that if we had our own business, how would we not do it? And I think that we carried a lot, and we'd still carry that. We still do to this day. I feel like we always, again, reflected on our CTO experience. I mean, what would that ultimate partner actually look like? If I actually truly had a partner, how would it look and feel to me as a CTO? Give them that confidence and transparency as a partner, and I think that's then how we've built fusefabric, and those are some of the behaviors and values that we exhibit to our clients, and we press upon our team to also exhibit those sort of behaviors and values as well. We've been that side of the table. We understand their challenges. We understand their pains. We understand the journey they need to go through to get, these large scale transformations signed off by the business and get that buy-in from the business as well to go on the journey with them. And I think that, that's why we're different. We can relate to them and what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve, and we can share the war stories as well. We can share our experience, and we can sympathize with them, and we get them essentially, probably more than most people do in the space.
We worked in small companies. We worked in very large companies, and we've grown small companies to very large companies as well. So we know what that transformation looks like, and it's hard. We've invested in our team. We've put our team through leadership training. We brought in senior hires, and we know to grow, we need to have good talent, and we need to have everyone enabled and supported in their growth journey. So we've invested internally massively to make sure our teams are able to meet the challenges that are coming their ways. I don't think a lot of people will do that. I think they get to a certain size and the company stops. But we've brought on teams across the world. We've grown teams to several hundreds in our past. We've been through leadership training ourselves and taken other teams through it. And I guess we're dedicating a lot of energy now on that stuff that no one sees behind the scenes to make sure our teams are effective, and they can continue to come passionately to the next challenge that we have.
I think another one is, if I'm really honest, I think it's just having such an amazing relationship with Shopify and being able to go on the journey with Shopify as they go on the journey into the enterprise space. Like we talked about when we first set up the business, Shopify was an amazing platform then, as it is today. They then decided to go officially into enterprise within about a year of us starting the business. And we've just been on that journey with them ever since. We've always focused on the large clients, the large opportunities. We've always worked side by side with their various teams at an enterprise level. And we just have such a fantastic relationship with them. And I think that riding that wave with them has, massively contributed to our growth and got us to where we are today.
We bring an enterprise perspective to the problem solving. So we're thinking outside of Shopify as well as inside Shopify. We're thinking about business processes. We're thinking about total cost of ownership. And those are the things that the CTO really needs to understand. So I think that's what sets us apart as a partner out there. We are very much enterprise focused. Yeah, we spend our careers delivering for enterprise. We get enterprise inside out, and that's why we're so special.
Obviously, continued growth as we have a sustainable side of the business, and we're growing substantially year on year and working with more and more enterprise merchants. But I think the real kind of focus switch might be towards AI, and much more in AI offering and consultancies and problem solving, with the use of AI-backed solutions. Even to a point where we'll be launching more products, moving a little bit from services into the product space and launching products to service the needs of merchants running on Shopify. Some of those will be built with AI, and some of those will be actually utilizing AI as part of their solution. So, which we're super excited about expanding that part of the business, and just continues to contribute to our growth strategy.